The room grew colder when Jungkook said it. Wife. Wan blinked at him, the sting in her throat returning. Why? Why did you agree to marry me back then? JK, because of your sister. Wine's eyes widened up. How did Jungkook know her before their wedding? He knew her. He knew Sana. And he married her because of her dead sister. He pulled out a folded letter from his back pocket, yellowed, familiar handwriting. JK, I found this last week in my mother's things. Her breath caught. Jungkook, your sister sent it 2 days before she died. She said she was afraid. She said she had found out something she shouldn't have. She mentioned 5 names. He met her eyes. Jungkook. And she said the only person she could trust was you. The more he talked about her sister, the more it became harder for her to breathe. Jungkook, I didn't marry you because I was forced to whine. I married you because your sister begged me to protect you in case she couldn't. The walls shook beneath her feet. Sana had known she wouldn't survive. She had planned Wine's protection, and Jungkook, he had known her sister too. Wine, why? Why didn't she tell me before? Jungkook, because I didn't remember her. Not until now. Daniel's father, he was the psychiatrist that treated me after my father's death. It was electroconvulsive therapy on me. Illegally wiped entire pieces of my memory. Her heart twisted. Suddenly it all made sense. The blank spaces in Jungkook's past. His violent dream where he wakes up gasping for air but immediately gets a hold of himself as if he didn't wake up seeing monsters in his sleep. The scars, including the one near his throat, he didn't remember getting. Jungkook. Sana knew the black secrets of the school, the secrets of the council members and their parents. She was trying to expose them. The talk took a toll on Hwan. She had been looking for clues for her sister's death for years and failed every time. Yet, suddenly, now that the truth was being exposed in front of her, was she truly ready to process it like she thought she was? It made it hard for her to breathe. The truth clawed against her heart and made it bleed. Why? The only question she had was why? Was exposing truth more important to Sana than her own life, than mine, than her family? Just why did she have to leave? Jungkook crouched beside mine, his eyes dark into pitch. JK, I failed her once. I won't fail again. Wine and Jungkook didn't need any more proof to wait. They killed Sana, and now they dare threaten his wife. Jungkook started to move. He didn't make his moves from shadow. He ruined them. The council members, all out in the open in front of everybody. First target was Leah. During a grand ceremony going on in the Black Whales auditorium, the screen suddenly turned off. When the faculty rushed to fix it, it turned on, and what played was not some stupid project they were taking pride in. But something that took their breaths away, screams of Sana, while the vicious Lee stood there, laughing and torturing her. Lee was shown throwing gasoline over Sana while stomping her feet over the poor girl who was at the brink of death. The video was the spotlight for everybody present there. Hundreds of flashlights filled the auditorium and everybody clicked pictures and recorded videos, but for Jungkook and Ryan, Lee was the spotlight. The way she ran around screaming to turn off the video, trying to do it herself, yet feeling miserably. How she tried to explain herself, but nobody was focused on her but the video. How she pathetically tried to break the screen but failed yet again, and not moments later she was dragged away by security. Mine stood there. Her eyes showed no mercy as Lee looked at her with begging yet angry eyes. No, there was no mercy left in her heart. Second target was Marcus. Jungkook and Wine gave the school some time. The truth about Lee spread like fire. People only bashing the council and writing curses about Lee on every side. It lasted for 2 days. Right 2 days later, the pool was filled with students who were there to cheer on the favorite athlete. Marcus was one of them. He waved at the girls who screamed before he jumped into the pool. But things went wrong. The crowd was not cheering for the athletes anymore. Hundreds and thousands of pictures suddenly rained down the sky. Everyone snatching them quickly. Pictures of Marcus, bruised, filled in blood, stark naked. Nothing like the one in his glory who stood there. Yes, Marcus had a dark past as well, but seems like he was too quick to forget it. He needed to remind it of it as well. When Marcus stepped out of the pool, he grabbed a picture too and widened his eyes. Every picture he picked up showed even uglier side of him. He saw people gasping, some burping out of disgust, some cringing, some laughing, taking snaps and already putting it on social media. He turned the picture and saw the back of it. Feels familiar, doesn't it? It was. He had tortured Sana the same way, blackmailed her with the pictures of tortured, bruised, and naked. It all felt like a deja vu, except that it wasn't fun anymore. His life changed. His friends left him, girls didn't scream about him anymore, everybody looked at him like he was a disgust. He lost his authority even if he was still a member of the council. His girlfriend, the only person he cared about, left him, leaving him broke. An ending which was good enough for him, even if no amount of pain given to him was ever going to satisfy Vine. But Sana wanted no bloodshed. Vine was going to respect that. Third target was Ayla. She never hurt Sana. Yet, she was involved in threatening Vine, and Jungkook didn't take that lightly. He was skilled enough to snap pictures of her along with Professor Naves and many others. She was clearly shown how she seduced teachers to get good grades. Yes, her grades was the reason she was the most popular and respected person in the school. Now that it was exposed, they spat at her, slapped her, and threw her out of the school, dragging her with their own hands. Those common students against the almighty Euler. The tables had turned. Fine. I especially asked Jungkook to go easy on you. That's me having mercy on you for not laying a finger on my sister. She said when Ayla sat there on the road outside the school, a complete mess. Braden's dismiss was more of a public. His folder full of stolen passwords, cheating evidence, and private messages were leaked to the school, police, and press, resulting in imprisonment. Jungkook left the case in the hands of his lawyer. But the last one was different. Daniel, their golden boy, the one people worshipped and would even kiss his feet. He was protected by everyone. A single wrong eye at him and you would pay. Nobody take it lightly when it came to their golden boy. The day was dusky, clouds heavy with rain as usual. The council had never been this silent, but Daniel strolled in confidently, flanked by three guards and a professor. He had sensed the pattern. One by one, his allies fell. Lee, Marcus, Ayla, Brayden, but him? He was untouchable. The school itself bent around him. He smiled as he walked past everybody, who waved at him happily, like a sun shining upon them in their dark, cloudy days. Yes, that's what Daniel was to them. Sweet, kind, innocent, always helping them, always smiling, always spreading peace. He reached the auditorium after receiving an urgent notice. Mandatory assembly, auditorium, 6 p.m. sharp, for all council members and student leaders. Oh, Daniel, you're here. Students greeted him like he was some godly presence. Daniel smiled back. He truly had one comforting and pretty smile. He sat on the front row, reserved only for him. The chitter chatter died quite quickly. Once a figure stepped onto the stage they never did expect to see before, whereas on one side sat their golden boy. On the stage descended the devil himself, the one they were all terrified of, the Jungkook himself. Everybody was scared. Nobody wanted to be in the presence, so they ran towards the exit. But the doors were locked, and so the panic spread until Daniel rose in his seat. Daniel, what is it, Jungkook? Were you the one who called us here? Jungkook, I did. I have something to show you. Daniel balled his fists. Daniel, another attempt at humiliation? Let's see what garbage they have conjured this time. He whispered to himself, keeping the sweet exterior out at all times. Jungkook, your pretty boy isn't really pretty. Ah, there was shift in air. The people who tried to run away from him were not scared anymore. They started yelling or in fact throwing curses for saying a bad word against their golden boy. Daniel smirked. Yes, he was protected. No matter what Jungkook had up his sleeve, he was untouchable. Jungkook stepped aside calmly. Good. He had their attention. The video started playing on the projector as he stepped aside. A room, a metal table, a girl handcuffed to it. Sana. Daniel's confident smirk vanished. The sound of her voice filled the room, broken, trembling. Sana, please, I'll keep quiet. I won't say a word. Please don't bring wine into this. Daniel, too late, sweetheart. You wanted to play detective? Now you'll learn why you should not have seen this side of me. Secrets are meant not to be left out in open. Student cast, a few girls covered their mouths in horror. Professor shifted uncomfortably, but he didn't stop there. He slapped Sana. The angelic boy that they thought who couldn't even raise his voice could do that. And then the torture began. However, it didn't end there. A second video. Daniel torturing more students. His mannerless, rude manner of speech as he called the inferior, as he blackmailed professors to give him good grades, emails, voice recordings, confidential documents. He turned out to be a complete monster with blood on his hands. It then took 2 minutes for everybody who was ready to die to protect him to turn against him. They threw things at him shoes, socks, books, stationery, anything they got their hands on, calling him a monster and yelling at him to leave the school. He was prideful of his popularity, and that's what turned out to be the reason of his demise. Jungkook, your golden boy, silenced Sana, and he tried to bury the truth. And here's the thing about the death. He took the center of the stage again. Jungkook, they don't stay buried when they've got someone who's still breathing for them. Daniel stood up. This is defamation. None of this proves anything. But behind him, police officers entered. One of them had a warrant, another had handcuffs. Officer Daniel Avery, you're under arrest for obstruction of justice, blackmail, unlawful psychological abuse of a minor, and possible murder. Daniel, no. No, you don't get to do this to me. You know who my father is? Daniel shouted, shoving at the officers trying to run, but another figure blocked his path. Wine. Daniel, I will kill you. This was all your plot, was it not? Wine, what are you saying? I'm a mere nobody. Your dismissal was brought upon you by your own self. You thought Sana was just like any other of your target, but too bad for you. You messed with the wrong person. Now, rot in jail and cry for targeting her. He was dragged away. Weeks later, Vine sat under a tree where her sister used to read, a grave nearby. Flowers wilted gently in the breeze. A journal rested in her lap. Her sister's last pages. If something happens to me, tell Jungkook. He's the only one who might survive this. I trust him. Vine closed the book, tears on her cheeks. Jungkook sat beside her, quiet, watching the clouds. Vine, you remembered her? Jungkook, I remember everything now. My memories came back to me soon after. She leaned into him. His hand brushed the strand of her hair behind her ear. Fine, we did it. Jungkook, no, you did it. He kissed her temple. In that moment, he looked no devil. It's okay. I just lit the match. She smiled. Now that his memories were back, Vine felt like he was much more gentle than he was without them. Maybe, not remembering the reason behind the scars on his body or what those terrible dreams meant, which kept him awake, meant, took a toll on him. He was soft with her. She realized in that moment it had been days she last felt afraid of him. Being oddly comfortable in his company, she leaned against his chest as he wrapped his arm around her body, taking her in his embrace as if it was meant for her. They were at peace. Now that Sana received her justice after years, they were finally at peace and had started to heal again. As long as they had each other, they believed they could face anything together.